Only the best baby and kids clothes at smilingavery.com.
Justice, blindfolded, holding the scales, symbolizing impartiality and fairness. But what happens when the scales themselves are threatened? When the very guardians of justice become targets. The attack on Judge Holthus in Las Vegas was a shocking wake-up call, exposing a simmering problem in the halls of justice. The alarming rise in threats against judicial officers. Buckle up, because we're diving deep into the 10 most jaw-dropping facts about this case and the broader trend it represents. Prepare to be alarmed, informed, and hopefully inspired to take action. Remember Superman? Well, this attacker, Deobra Redden, took the leaping over obstacles bit a little too literally. In a scene straight out of a dystopian movie, Redden launched himself over the defense table and tackled Judge Holthus to the ground in a courtroom packed with stunned onlookers. Thankfully, court officers intervened. The image remains etched in our minds, a stark reminder of the vulnerability judges face, even within their own courtrooms. Just moments before the Superman stunt, Redden was pleading for leniency in his own case. His argument was turning his life around. Talk about irony. His actions speak volumes, a complete disregard for the very system he was seeking mercy from. This incident begs the question, can any plea for leniency ever justify such an outrageously violent act? Redden faced the music attempted murder, battery, and other charges landed him behind bars. Justice was served, but at what cost? Judge Holthus, though physically unharmed, undoubtedly carries the emotional scars of that day. This case forces us to confront the human toll of such attacks, the trauma inflicted on judges, the erosion of public trust in the justice system, and the chilling effect it could have on judicial decisions. Remember, Judge Holthus isn't alone. The U.S. Marshal Service reported over 4,500 threats against judges in just 1 year. 2021. It's a staggering number, painting a bleak picture of the escalating danger judges face. Each threat, each attack, chips away at the foundation of a fair and impartial justice system. It's not just physical assaults. Judges are bombarded with online threats, hate mail, and intimidating phone calls. These verbal onslaughts, though less visible, can be equally damaging. They create a climate of fear and intimidation, potentially influencing judicial decisions and undermining public confidence in the judiciary. Let's face it, the rise in threats isn't happening in a vacuum. It's fueled by a broader societal trend of distrust in authority figures, including judges. Anti-establishment sentiment, coupled with the proliferation of misinformation and echo chambers online, creates a fertile ground for animosity towards the justice system. Compared to other law enforcement officers, judges often work in relatively unsecured environments. Courtrooms, while symbolic of justice, can be surprisingly accessible, leaving judges vulnerable to targeted attacks. This lack of robust security measures puts not only judges at risk, but also the entire integrity of the judicial process. Metal detectors are a good start, but they're just the tip of the iceberg. We need a holistic approach to judicial security. This includes improved threat assessment protocols, enhanced physical security measures like reinforced benches and panic buttons, and comprehensive training for judges and court staff on de-escalation and emergency response. It's time to reimagine courtroom security for the 21st century, where threats come in both physical and digital forms. Ultimately, protecting judges isn't just about safeguarding individuals. It's about protecting the very foundation of our society. Fair and impartial judiciary is the cornerstone of a functioning democracy. When judges are under threat, so is the rule of law, the separation of powers, and the very idea of justice for all. We must stand united, the legal community, the public, and policymakers, to create a safe and secure environment where judges can dispense justice without fear. The Judge Holthus attack is a wake-up call, a clarion cry for action. We can't afford to let this disturbing trend become the new normal. We must demand better, advocate for stronger security measures, and foster a culture of respect and trust in the justice system. This isn't just about one courtroom, one judge, or one attack. It's about the future of justice itself. So let's channel our outrage into action. Contact your representatives, support organizations working on judicial safety, and spread awareness about this critical issue. Remember, justice thrives in the light, not in the shadows of fear. The gavel may bang shut on a judge's attacker. The ripples of such an assault extend far beyond the courtroom walls. Judges, understandably, grapple with emotional trauma, questioning their safety and even their calling. Court staff witness the chaos firsthand, potentially developing PTSD or anxiety. Public confidence in the justice system weakens, creating a chilling effect on reporting crimes and seeking legal recourse. These are just some of the unseen scars, the collateral damage of a single act of judicial aggression. Threats against judges aren't confined to physical altercations. The digital age has ushered in a new wave of intimidation, online harassment, doxing, and the relentless spread of misinformation. Judges become targets of social media mobs, their decisions dissected and distorted in echo chambers of anger and distrust. This online onslaught can be just as damaging as a physical attack, eroding public trust and creating a hostile environment for judges to operate in. Imagine the immense pressure of upholding the law while facing constant threats and intimidation. Can judges truly remain impartial under such circumstances? This is the chilling question that hangs over the Judge Holthus attack and similar incidents. The fear of reprisal, the constant vigilance, the emotional toll. All these factors can subtly influence judicial decisions, even if unconsciously. This is a slippery slope, a potential erosion of the very foundation of a fair and just society. The Judge Holthus attack wasn't just a local incident, it's a national wake-up call. Legislators across the country are scrambling to draft bills, propose reforms, and allocate resources to bolster judicial security. Increased funding for marshals, stricter penalties for threats and assaults, and improved mental health support for judges are just some of the proposals on the table. It's time for action, not just lip service, to ensure that our courts remain sanctuaries of justice, not battlegrounds for fear and intimidation. Judges aren't just figures in robes. They're human beings with families, friends, and communities. The Judge Holthus attack serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of threats against the judiciary. Imagine the fear a judge's family feels, the constant worry that spills over into their daily lives. Imagine the sleepless nights, the missed holidays, the emotional burden of supporting a loved one under such immense pressure. This is the unseen story, the silent toll on the families who stand behind the bench. The threat to judicial officers isn't an isolated American issue. It's a global phenomenon. From Europe to Asia, from Africa to South America, judges face increasing harassment, intimidation, and even physical attacks. This global trend highlights the universality of the challenge.
Only the best baby and kids clothes at smilingavery.com. A baby and kids clothing store like no other. Link in bio/description.